today, that big change on immigration, 700 officers leaving Minneapolis. Did that come from you?
Yes, it did. But it didn't come from me because I just wanted to do it. We are waiting for them to release prisoners, give us the murderers that they're holding, and all of the bad people, drug dealers, all of the bad people. We allowed in our country, I say 25 million people with an open border policy for 4 years under Biden and that group, the auto pen group, I call them. We allowed to come into our country people the likes of which no country would accept. And we're getting them out. Yeah. But we've gotten a lot of them out. So crime now in Minnesota, crime now in Minneapolis is down. Crime in all cities is down. And you know why it's down? It's down because of us. It's down in Chicago by 25%, despite the fact that we are always dealing with these people, and they happen to be Democrats.
Right. Speaking of
that don't know anything about crime prevention.
Mr. President, speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. These are criminals. We're dealing with really hard criminals. But look, I've called the people. I've called the governor. I've called the mayor, spoke to them, had great conversations with them, and then I see them ranting and raving out there, literally as though a call wasn't made.
Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Aquaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson. I'm praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this guy's a damn hypocrite because he's talking about all these hardened criminals, but you're not going after. You're in the damn Epstein files so far at least 10,000 times. You keep claiming that, okay, you done nothing wrong, or you done nothing wrong. Okay, let's just say that he didn't do anything wrong. What about the motherfuckers that you know that done wrong? Why aren't you going after these guys? Why aren't you using your ICE agents to run down on these billionaire pedophiles, man? Anyway, let me grab this real quick, and I'm going to go back into the article because really I wanted to go off into the warehouses that they're actually setting up, for these supposedly immigrants, which don't make no damn sense other than, these people don't do no fucking lie. But this is Job chapter 20. I'm going to read it in the Amplified, verse 5. It says, the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the godless is only for a moment. Right? So now in the KJV, it says, the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. Let's get this word hypocrite real quick. Here you go, this guy. Now, mind you, like I said again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because we know his ass is guilty too. But let's just say, you're not guilty like how you're saying you're not guilty. As a matter of fact, your fucking wife in the damn files. Everybody that you associated with is in the files. You know what I'm saying? But yet you talking about hardened criminals, bro. You talking about women being raped and all this other shit, and you a part of a motherfucker that's done all manner of wickedness, man. Come on, bro. These people. Let's get this word hypocrite real quick. It's Hanaf, H2611. Hypocritical, godless, profane. What does the scripture say about Esau? He let me see. What's that scripture? What is it? Scripture says that Esau was profane. I think that's Romans. Let me see. So like you bear with me. Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane. Remember that word profane. The person is Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And this is a very immoral man. Matter of fact, in the Amplified, it says, and see to it, Hebrews 12:16 in the Amplified, and see to it that no one is immoral or godless like Esau, who sold his own birthright for a single meal. And this man is a profane man. He's a godless person, man. He's immoral. And he's a cruel lord, man. Let's get this word profane. Matter of fact, let's get this word fornicator. Matter of fact, the word is pornos. Hey, this guy was found with all kinds of porns and all kind, man, just wickedness, bro. A bunch of so-called white men, and no one's doing nothing about this shit, bro. It's crazy as hell. H4205. A man who prostitutes his body to another lusts for hire. A male prostitute, a man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse, a fornicator. And really, in reality, the way that they, these files is looking, they not just dealing with young girls, man. They dealing with young boys. They dealing with themselves. They dealing with, ain't no telling, man. It could be some, Trump could be with Bill Clinton. Ain't no telling what the fuck in them files, bro. Real talk. I wanted to get that word profane. I'm gonna go back into this article though. Profane person, Bebelos, G952, accessible, lawful to be trodden, profane, unhallowed, common, public place, of men ungodly. See, he's an ungodly man. Yep, so let's go back. Let's get some of the article. Because you can clearly see he's talking about all this criminal this, criminal that, criminal this. Motherfucker, you's a hypocrite. Because all your homeboys is in them files right along with your ass. Your wife is in them files. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling who else you know. Ivanka, your daughters, your sons, all of them could be in them files. They got all these videos. Ain't no telling what's about to come up next. Because people still researching. People still searching through them files, man. But let's get what they talking about as far as these immigration centers. These warehouses that they're buying up, right? ICE plans to build mega warehouses for immigration detention. Spark growing concern. What are you building these warehouses for? Weren't you loading them on planes and flying them back to their nation? Or hell, you flying these people to places they ain't never even been to, for that matter. But aren't you supposed to be flying them back? What's the need for all this money that you spending on these big ass warehouses? Because we gonna get into the funds. Look at all this money, man. And this is just, from what I've seen, just 3 facilities is somewhere close to like 200 million. Crazy work, bro. But they got all this money for that, but you still not fixing the borders, so-called. You know, you deducted money from your health care. You doing all kinds of shit that supposedly help the citizens that's here, that you supposedly say are, the legals. These so-called white people, you fucking it up for even them. Anyway, and we applaud it, you know what I'm saying, because it's just the fall of our enemy that we're witnessing, man. What it says, Department of Homeland Security plans to purchase and operate mega warehouses, not just warehouses, but mega warehouses, to use as immigration detention centers at our risk are raising concerns among lawmakers, local residents, and government contractors in the running to operate them. So they're pretty much going to be private prisons with a bunch of his cronies making billions off of that shit. Just like the private prisons that they got all of Jake in right now anyway. The proposed centers are so large that they could house as many as 8,000 detainees at once. So you got money to build something that big for at least 8,000 detainees, but you can't build the same type of infrastructures for the homeless? Backwards as fuck, bro. According to the DHS spreadsheet of more than 20 potential locations that was verified by NBC News, the largest federal prison in the U.S., for example, has roughly 4,000 inmates. But you got money to do all this, you know. Now, when they was talking about getting the homeless off the streets in Washington, D.C., when they first had the National Guard out there, before, those two, the man and woman, ended up getting shot and killed. You ain't heard nothing else about that shit. You ain't heard no more about those National Guard, that man and woman that got killed by some guy, supposedly. Could have been a psyops. But you ain't heard nothing else about that shit no more. But when they was out there, they was so-called rounding up the homeless and all this other stuff. You ain't heard nothing about them people, where the fuck they at, none of that. But You know, because the people have a choice as to whether or not they want to be in a place like that. You know, that's just like here right now. You know, it's cold as shit here in Michigan. They have shelters, warm places where the people can go. But some of these people, man, they like, fuck that. I can handle it. I'm just gonna stick it out, and they know how to do it. But they grown ups, and that's their fucking choice. And you can't just hold somebody just because you feeling like they, they can't handle themselves or whatever. You know, because they was actually talking about, if you look like you on drugs, all they have to do is say you on drugs, you're mental, and they can just round your ass up. And that's pretty much what Trump and them was talking about. All they have to do is say, well, he has a mental situation going on, and you can be the most level-headed motherfucker out here on the planet. But all they have to do is say that, because these people don't do no more fucking lie, man. But guess what? Because they're in these positions of power, their word goes, and it's gonna get nasty here, man. Okay, but it says at least 3 facilities have already been secured. Now check out how much these 3 facilities cost. One is outside of Phoenix, where Immigration Customs Enforcement pays $70 million for a building the size of 7 football fields. For fucking what, when you supposedly be putting them on planes and shipping them back to their countries? Matter of fact, you was offering them so-called, what were they offering? I think they was offering them like 3,000. I've heard a few different calculations, but $3,000, turn yourself in, we'll give you the money to and just send you back. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna send you back empty-handed, all this bullshit. But the people that went for that shit overall, you know what I'm saying? Because Esau, he lies about everything. Now your ass in handcuffs, and you get thrown into one of these places, man. That's why a lot of these Jake, they not trusting that shit. They just like, fuck it, they just gonna have to find me. But you got one for 70 million, right? That's almost 100 million. Okay, it says surprise. City officials said in the statement that they were not aware of the purchase. See that? So they just doing this shit on their own. Trump just doing whatever he wants to do. That they had not been notified of it, and that they had not been contacted by DHS or any other federal agency. So they just spending taxpayers' money like how they want to, man. He's using the taxpayers as his personal piggy bank, man. It says another is outside Philadelphia, where ICE bought a warehouse for $87.4 million last month, for possible conversion into an immigration detention center, according to NBC Philadelphia. So that right there is what? That's 150. That's 157 million, I think that is so far. 0.4 million. The third is in San Antonio, a warehouse of nearly 640,000 square feet that is valued at more than 37 million. Them just 3 properties, bro. So you had like $200 million right there. President Donald Trump said in an interview with the NBC News on Wednesday that the administration could use it. We just seen all that. Use a softer touch. And they talking about immigration and crackdown in 5 more cities. And the administration is expanding plans for mass immigration detention. See, which NBC News first reported in November, are coming into sharper focus. Concerns are only growing. Why are the concerns growing? Because they understand that this shit don't make no sense. If you're supposed to be deporting the people, what do you need these big ass buildings for? Because at the pace that you're moving at, you should be able to go ahead and get rid of everybody before your term is up. If you just picking these people up and supposedly shipping them out immediately, what's the reason for all these big ass warehouses? What are you gonna do with them after the so-called immigrants are gone? What are you about to hold court for all of them? You're not giving them due process. You're not holding any hearings where you're trying to find out if they actually really are U.S. citizens or belong here. You just like fuck them. Okay, but it says pro-immigrant community groups in Colorado, Mississippi, and Arizona have also voiced opposition. The Arizona lawmaker said they worried the purchase of the massive buildings would mean aggressive immigration enforcement was coming to their area. In Hutchins, Texas, on Wednesday night, the League of United Latin American Citizens and state officials demonstrated against the proposed ICE facility. Because, people don't want to live near, stuff like that, man. A lot of people, they don't want to live near no prisons and, in case there's a breakout or, people they don't want that shit around, especially these Edomites. These Edomites don't want that around them. Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi said in a statement Wednesday that he strongly opposed the possibility of a detention center near Bahalia, Mississippi. I am all for immigration enforcement, but this site was meant for economic development and job creation, he posted on X, along with a letter to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. We cannot suddenly flood Bahalia with an influx of up to 10,000 detainees. Well, you shouldn't have to anyway, because supposedly you're supposed to be shipping them out. So what are you holding these people for? What are you doing? You should be processing them and getting them back to wherever it is that they came from what you're saying. Democratic lawmakers have criticized a proposed facility in Roxbury, New Jersey, and immigrant advocates say a possible detention center in Hudson, Colorado, a rural area more than 30 miles from Denver, would mean lawyers and family members would have difficulty visiting, in part because there's no good public transportation that far away from the city. And that's the way that they want it. They want it a way where you don't know what's going on the inside of them. You don't hear about nobody getting it, no phone calls, no visitation rights, no, I've seen my family member. You're just grabbing these people up and nobody gets to know where the fuck they are, how they're doing no more. It's done. That's it. Crazy, bro. I just done a lesson on the 4 Haitian women that was beheaded, after they got caught by ICE or whatever, supposedly, you know what I'm saying? But ain't no telling what really went down with that. Anyway, it goes on to say a spokesperson for ICE said in a statement it had new funding to expand detention space though no new centers to announce at this time, but said the centers would be well-structured facilities that meet detention standards. Sites will undergo community impact studies and a rigorous due diligence process to make sure there is no hardship on local utilities or infrastructure prior to purchase. Yeah, right. Your bill's about to skyrocket. The spokesperson said removing these criminals from the streets makes communities safer for business owners and customers. Man, you got people scared to come out and fucking shop because they don't want to be pulled over by you. Even regular citizens. People don't even want to go nowhere. They already weren't going nowhere to begin with. Now you got regular citizens that's like, nah, I'm not going to even take the chance. I look a little bit Mexican. Or I look a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Or just in general. They don't want to turn out to be a damn Renee Good. You killing business. What the fuck are you talking about? It says to win an ICE warehouse contract. Here you go. So that's where the money is at. It's people out here that's they're fighting for these contracts, man. A company must already be doing business with the U.S. Navy or partner with companies that do business with the Navy. So who you think all these people? These are probably number small tops, small hats, man. According to an executive at the company that houses detainees and is under consideration to run one of the new ICE warehouses. The process was similar when Trump administration built its largest detention center to date, a sprawling tent facility in Texas. The 2 government contractors told NBC News they were worried that new warehouses and the large number of immigrants who would be housed in them would present safety problems. Hiring staff members for more than 2,500 people, especially in rural areas, would be very challenging, an executive said. So here's a blueprint of one of these big motherfuckers. And it looked just like one of these Wayfair or Amazon, you know how big them damn Amazon buildings are. It says building a detention center the size of DHS has requested could drain the town's water supply. See? The executive said. They don't care nothing about that, bro. Another contractor told NBC News that any detention facility with more than 1,500 detainees would be risky. The housing estimates for the warehouses are based on the square footage of potential facilities, and they could change after they are outfitted to accommodate people living in them. ICE currently houses more than 70,000 immigrants. For what? Aren't you supposed to be getting rid of them? Why are you housing them? And 224 facilities nationwide, according to agency's data from early February. A single ICE facility already in operation at Fort Bliss, Texas, not far from the U.S.-Mexico border, has been plagued with problems. You right at the border. Why aren't you sending them on out of here? At least 3 immigrants died at the facility over 44 days. The medical examiner ruled one of the deaths as a homicide. Members of Congress have demanded access to the facility. Nobody know what's going on over safety concerns and have gone to court to ask federal judge to stop Trump administration policies that limited access to the facilities and required a week's notice before a visit. A judge ordered Homeland Security this week to allow lawmakers to make unannounced visits. Yeah, man. And so there you have it. So this guy Trump, man, he's doing what he wants to do. They're not following any of these judges' orders, man. That's just a done deal. Your Constitution is a wrap. Let me just get this, man, because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Because these facilities are going to be for you regular Americans, man. 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right? And then the Amplified Bible, it says, to keep Satan from taking advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his schemes. So we're not ignorant of the fact that they're going to use these facilities and they're going to keep buying them. And you already know who already getting the contracts. That's a moneymaker. So you already know who's involved in that. Them small tops, man. I'm willing to bet you them small tops is the ones that's got the contracts, because they got an ICE facility over in Israel. Straight up. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. They're gonna buy up all these damn buildings, and it's a bunch of these buildings. This is just a few of them. Just a few of them, man. But you're thinking, okay, we know that all these people haven't committed no violent crimes. You picking up kids from school. So why isn't that the lawmakers can't go in there and look at them children, check on those children, ask those children some questions? How are you being treated? Just to see that what the fucking facilities even look like. What are their sleeping conditions? What are their eating conditions? You know, how are they cleaning up, washing themselves, brushing their teeth? How are they doing this? If you know, at least with the damn kids. You picking up women. Like, how can you not allow the lawmakers to go through there and see what type of conditions these women are in? Since you care, but you can clearly see Trump they don't give a fuck about no women. You can see that from the way that they treat these Epstein files. But anyway, I'm just trying to make the point of, it's hypocritical with the shit that they be saying. They don't, meet the standards of what they be talking, man. They talk the talk, but they don't be walking the walk. And they be lying right on TV, bro. There's no way that you should be able to lock a person up like that without due process, and their family member can't come to check on them. Don't know where they are. It's overall, it's like a kidnap. It's really just a kidnap. When a person kidnaps, matter of fact, they got what's this white woman, I can't think of her name. The lady from the news. She's one, McGirthy or whatever the fuck her name is. This bitch spoke about this bitch at the White House during the press conference. Oh yeah, like, so she been missing for 5 days. Y'all can go all in and spend all these resources to try and find her old ass, right? But yet and still, you kidnapping people, because it's no more than a kidnap. If their family don't know where they are, they're kidnapped. And then you got family members that would be even scared to even go and actually ask about where their family members are, because they might get arrested. Or you're related to them, or well, you got to go too. You come with us. And then, I'm telling you, man, these people, man, this place is done, man. This place is done. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, because overall, when you seeing them go around their own laws like that, what you're witnessing is the collapse of this place. So let me just end out with that. It's a beautiful thing. Just some information to go out to some of you brothers and sisters that may not know what's going on. Because, we're the watchmen. We're the, scroll through these news cycles and, keep the people informed. But, hey, they not building 19. They said the one was 19 football fields long. The fuck kind of facility is that? And that motherfucker it's gonna be bed on top of bed on top of bed. Ain't gonna be like no regular jail. You know what I'm saying? Where, you got a bunk. It's one bed on the bottom, one bed on the top. No, these motherfuckers gonna have a ladder your ass gotta climb. You might be the 20th per your bed might be the 20th bed up top. You gotta climb down that. Ain't no telling with these people, bro. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, in the 1611 King James Bible, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And we're witnessing the fall of our enemy because you got Republicans that's not with this shit, Democrats that's not with this shit. But the overall thing of it is you know that your government is through when there's no one that can there's no one that can tell Trump what to do. There's no one to stop this motherfucker from doing what he's doing. He's just doing what he wants to do. He's not listening to no judges. He's not listening to no court summons or any of that shit. He's just like, fuck that. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. Now he's talking about, even matter of fact, getting rid of fucking midterms, and he's probably gonna just continue to be your what they call a king now. He's about to take this bitch over. Ain't gonna, more than likely not gonna be no elections. He's not listening to nothing. They talking about having ICE at these voting polls. And you know, a lot of these, ain't no fucking Latinos coming out. Ain't nobody coming out looking like they. You gonna have some doofy ass black women out there trying to vote, getting their goddamn head whooped on, snatched up and pulled away. But it's gonna deter a lot of them Democrats from even taking their asses out there to vote. Cause see, they fighting hard for them midterms, man. Because Trump already know. He done already said it. He's afraid of impeachment. He knows that if they lose these midterms, his ass is going to be impeached and they're going to be on his ass about going to jail. And everything that he's doing, he already got his crew together to come up against anything that you think January 6th, that shit, that wasn't nothing compared to what these people are prepared to do for this man. He already got that shit on lock. So, but that signifies that that's the fall of this place. So we applaud it. I pray that he go ahead and do what it is that his ass is doing. As a matter of fact, let me get another one. You know, it may seem, foul as hell, which it is. You know, I ain't gonna front the shit is foul. But hey, these things have to happen for this place to fall. Whatever has to happen for this place to fall, we are with, man. Because the Lord is doing it. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord got Trump doing all this shit. The Lord got Trump defying these judges, these federal judges, these fuck, you know what I'm saying? The Lord got him out here saying all the shit that he's saying, doing all the shit that he's doing. And he getting filthy rich. He's just filling his coffers. He don't give a fuck about none of you red cap, red hat wearing motherfuckers. You just was stupid. And he duped y'all doofy ass because you not coming up. Nobody's coming up but him and his family, man. And his homeboys around him. Them little billionaires that's around him, man. You got some money, you want to... That nigga can be bought. All you need is some cash. You got 5 million, 10 million. Come on, bro. This motherfucker, he's making money hand over fist with all kinds of fucked up deals, man. That's damn sure unconstitutional. And none of you red caps are doing anything about it because you have to see that you're duped. Now it's time for you to bring your ass on in and say, hey, what's going on here, man? You January 6th rioters, you should be rolling down on his ass right now. Like, this is not what we signed up for. What are you doing? You trampling on our Constitution. Anyway, man, I'm gonna end out with that, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying. But hey, man, just beware. Beware, man. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, you can be pulled over, and all they have to do is just snatch your ass up. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Like, what you gonna do? You know, if you get to fighting against some motherfuckers, gonna shoot your ass. That's why we say pray, man. Pray without ceasing. Be circumspect. You know, that scripture that talks about going out beat time, getting your shit done, doing what you have to do early. Ecclesiasticus 32:11. Getting up early, handling your business, and getting your ass back home. All that hanging out. You know, these niggas is talking about, swarming motherfucking NFL games and Super Bowls, trying to pick up fucking people, man. They won't even let that shit ride. Like goddamn, the people can't have a weekend of your bread and circus without being worried about ICE picking their asses up. And that lets you know, man, these Edomites, they're the only ones that's overall safe in their own, because this is their kingdom. But you know, that shit is fading on them, man. So I'm gonna end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Pour me a shot all on the bubble ball.